Hello everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. So today I'm going to discuss about question answer of the chapter 3 of history NCERT class 6. The chapter is in the earliest cities. So as I'm always telling you before starting, read your textbook very carefully. Each and every line is very important for our studies, as well as practice writing. It will improve your writing speed and it is very important for history, civics and SST subjects. Okay, so let's start. As the name suggests, in the earliest cities you can see the very famous of the two cities, that is the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. You are aware of these two cities. So let's start the question answer session. And what's the first question comes here? See, can you guess? See, the very first line of the textbook or the chapter, that is, the old buildings have a story to tell. Underline this. This is a very important as well as interesting questions you can get. That is, why you think that old buildings have a story to tell. Can you ever imagine to get a questions like that? See, this paragraph is your answer. That is, and you can get it in a different way, I tell you. The same question can you get in a different way. And the question is that why were some of the early buildings completely destroyed? See, this is the last line of the paragraph. Why were some of the early buildings were completely destroyed? So, what do you find? The first line and the last line of the very first paragraph is an important line, as well as you can get two different questions from this. That is, why old buildings have a story to tell? What do you think? And secondly, many buildings were completely destroyed. Why were many buildings were completely destroyed? So underline this paragraphs or underline these lines. Okay, and see here you can get a very short answer type questions and as well as a very important questions. That is this: which sites were described as Harappan by the archaeologists? See, Harappa in present day Pakistan. So here is the answer. That is, which sites 150 years ago the first time. Here you can get the answer of this also. Which sites were described as Harappan by archaeologists? See, here is the answer. Oldest cities, subcontinents currently in Pakistan. This is the another major questions you get, but this is a very short answer type questions, and the above question is for, as we discuss, it will for 2 marks you will get. Don't worry, I will share all the questions. Okay, so move to the next page. See, what was special about this cities? These cities, always remember to read this section. It is important for your picture description. It is important for your in any kind of map related question. So read this. Don't forget to read this. See, underline the word citadel. So what is the citadel? Is the lower town or citadel? It's a new thing. And see, this is the citadel is the part to the west was larger but lower. This is called the lower town, and the part to the west was smaller but higher. This is called citadel. So what is the speciality of these cities? What is the special about the Harappan cities? Then you get the question, you have to write the citadel and lower town both. Okay, but otherwise you can get a single questions. That is, what do you mean by citadel? Okay, let's go down. See, underline the another major thing, that is great bath. Great bath is a very important thing and it's a very special thing of these cities. And the question you get right is give a brief account of a great bath. It's a very important question. Always remember it's a very important question. So give a brief account of the great bath. Sorry, one question I missed. I saw you here. You can see the lines. The bricks laid down to make the wall strong, right? The bricks were laid in an interlocking pattern and that made the wall strong. So this is the question, how were the bricks laid down? How were the bricks laid down? So your answer is that is very often walls of baked bricks are built around each part and the bricks were so well baked that they have lasted for thousands of years and the bricks were laid in an interlocking pattern and that made the wall strong. Once again I repeat, how were the bricks laid down to make the wall strong? Okay, and next come that is great bath. Give a brief account of the great bath. This paragraph is your answer. You can get a short note on great bath. You can get these things. So you have to write all these things, all the paragraph. Okay. Scroll down again. See, here you can get a picture questions. That is, here you can get the picture of this great bath and the teacher can ask you, that is, where is great bath situated? Then why was great bath is important during the Harappan period? And give one feature of great bath. See what you get in the picture question, picture based questions. That is, you can get this picture of great bath. And what the question, where is great bath situated? Why was the great bath important during Harappan period? And give one feature of great bath. If you read the question before, that is the brief account of the great bath, then you can easily answer this question. So picture is very important in this chapter. So I will suggest you to put a tick on this picture so that you can carefully observe the picture. That is, this is a picture of a great bath. Okay. And then move down. See, here you can see what is this speciality. The speciality of the houses, right? See, sorry. Here you can see the houses were either 1 or 2 stories high with rooms built around a courtyard and most houses had a separate bathing area. So the question is that how were the houses made in the Harappan cities? The first paragraph is your answer. How was the houses were made in the Harappan cities? And the next question is comes this. Again, you can get two different types of questions from this paragraph. One is a very important thing and this is the specialty for Harappa is the drainage system. So you can get like this, describe the drainage system of Harappan city. But normally we can't get the straight away questions like this, the drainage systems or anything. You can get a different questions. That is the last line of the paragraph. That is all three houses, drains and streets were probably planned and built at the same time. Justify your sentence. Again, I repeated, you can underline these lines. That is, all three houses, drains and streets were probably planned and built at the same time. Justify your answer. The answer will be same. The drainage system, like this paragraph, is your answer, and the answer will be same for the both questions. So carefully, you can mark this line. So you can get this line and we can get the straight away questions that describe the drainage systems. Okay. Then in the next page, again, it's a very fast line. That is, Harappan city was a very busy place. That is, Harappan city was a very busy place. Mark this line. This line is again an important line, and the question you get, justify your answer. Justify your answer. Why Harappan city was a very busy place? These things, this paragraph, all of these paragraphs is your answer. You can get so many questions individually for a very short answer type question for MCQ for all of this, like the scribes. Who are scribes? The scribes are the people who knew how to write, who helped prepare the seals and perhaps wrote on the other materials that have not survived. So, like, who are the scribes? Who are the craft person? Here is the craft person making all kinds of things either in their own homes or in a special workshop. People were traveling to distant land or returning with raw materials and perhaps waste. So here you can get total 3 questions. First, why a Harappan city was a very busy place? Justify your answer. Like next is who are the scribes, and next who are the craft person. Okay, again you can get this kind of picture, and this is the drainage system, this is the layout of the drainage systems, and see, you can get these types of pictures and you can ask question, picture based question. So always remember, but the above picture of great path was very important, so tick the pictures. Okay, and next scroll down, you can get so many here. Again, this is the C, a seal. We will later discuss what is seals are on, but this is the picture based questions you can get. So read this very carefully. You can get this picture and the teacher can ask you, identify the picture given above, or what does the sign on the picture depict? Have the scholars been able to read this sign? How were they made and what is the shape of these objects? All your questions is here. What is the picture? This is a Harappan seal. What is the sign? The sign on the top of the seal are part of the script. This is the earliest form of the writing known in the subcontinent. Next is, have the scholar been able to read? Scholars have tried to read this sign, but we still do not know exactly what they mean. And how they are made? They were made, see, terracotta and toys. They're made with the terracotta. Okay, they're the toys. So it's again a very important, so I suggest you to take this picture also. Okay, now came here is the part of the jewelries and all you can see. So what is the uses of the coppers and bronze? What is the uses of gold and silver? So this is, from here you can get the answer. Copper and bronze were used to make tools and weapons, ornament and vessels. Gold and silver were used to make ornaments and vessels. So what the questions you get here? What is the uses of copper? One you can get to know the questions like the what is the uses of metal, or you can get a separate questions, that is the copper, bronze for which purpose, and gold and silver for which purpose. So read this. Again, read this carefully. You can get MCQs and very short answer type questions from here. Okay. Next, come here. We will read tell about the seal letter. And here is, see, this is a very important question for your MCQ. That is, cotton was probably grown at Mehirgarh from about 7,000 years ago. Underline 7,000 years. See, this is what the findings. You can get the what, see, was the stone used to make weights and was metal used in the village? So this is the findings and it's a very important thing. You can get an MCQ, and this line is very important. Cotton was probably grown Mehirgarh from about 7,000 years ago. Remember the years, that is 7,000 years ago. See, Here again we came, what is fence? The same thing. Here you can get the definition of fence is a material that is artificially produced. A gum was used to shape sand or powdered quartz into an object, and the objects were then glazed, resulting in a shiny, glassy surface. And the colors of the glaze were usually blue or sea green. And fence was used to make beads, bangles, earrings, and tiny vessels. Okay, this is your answer. And next question is that who are the specialists? Underline the word specialist. The questions here you can get, that is who are the specialists, right? And here what is the work or what is the job of the specialist? Not everybody could have been a specialist. Why not everybody could not been a specialist? You have to that did discuss it on the context of Harappan civilization. So you have to discuss it along with this paragraph. Like not all peoples are specialists. Who are the specialists? Not all people are specialists. This paragraph is your answer. Okay. Then see, again a important thing, that is raw materials. What are the uses of raw materials? And next the question is which crops were grown by the Harappan, and also names the animals they rear. Which crops were grown and what is the uses of metal? What is the uses of raw materials? So what are the raw materials? Here you can see raw materials are substances that are either found naturally, such as wood or sub-materials are produced by farmers or herders, are called the raw. These are then processed to produce finished goods. And for examples you have to write. So what are the raw materials? This is your answer. And from where the Harappan people got their raw material is the second paragraph of the answer. That is, the Harappans probably got copper from present day Rajasthan. This paragraph is your answer, that is from where Harappan people get their raw material. Okay, then scroll down. Then food for the people in the cities. You can see they reared, see here you can see what are the farming objects or which crops were grown by the Harappan. These crops are like wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, mustard, linseed. These all things are grown by the Harappan cities. So the next question is that which crops were grown by the Harappan? This is your answer. This is your answer. And what do you know by plow? Underline the word plow. What is the plow? What is the new tool? Or what is the specialty of this new tool? What is plow? See, this paragraph is your complete answer. See, what is the type of irrigation? It's a different question. Here is the answer, that is this region does not receive heavy rainfall and some form of irrigation may have been used. This means that water was stored and supplied to the fields when the plants were growing. See, that means the farming. See, this is proof of the farming that the crops were grown by the Harappan people. So a new tool, the plow. Plow was used to, what is plow? Now plow was used to dig the earth for turning the soil and planting seeds. While real plows were probably made of wood and have not survived, toy models have been found. You have to write up to this. And this is the answer. What crops were grown by the Harappan peoples and what animal they rear. Here is this, that is cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo. These are the animals they reared. This is again important findings by the archaeologists, like the cities of Dhalavira and the cities of Lothal. The main questions you get is the comparison between these two cities. I will suggest you write a point wise. You can't write the entire paragraph like this. So I will suggest you to make a point, a main point, that is where it locates, where it is a finding, where is the part, how many part, what is the writing. You can get this as a point wise Dholavira and point wise the Lothal. See, this is the comparative study. You have to make a note for this. This is the comparative. This is describe Dholavira or Lothal and compare them. So make a point and make your answer. Okay, and see, underline the word semi precious. Why this semi precious is important? Because you can get a questions like the semi precious stones. Why you think the semi precious stones was found here? So this is the answer. Why semi-precious stones were found here? Like semi-precious stones were easily available in the city of Lothal. See, this is the line that semi-precious stones were easily available. Underline this. Why? Because it's the close to the Gulf of Khambat. It was situated near areas where raw materials was easily available. So this is your answer. So again I will tell you the questions. Semi-precious stones were easily available. Okay, and the next is seals. It's a very important thing. You can get a picture of the seals. You can get a picture question again with the seal. Above that you can see what is seals. This is your answer. Okay, and if you get a picture like this, you can get a question like this. Identify the picture given above and how was the sealing applied and what was the benefit of the same. All the questions you can, all the answers are here. So if you get a questions like that, what these seals, you have to read carefully. You can get, I can answer all the things. So carefully read this paragraph, carefully observe this picture. Don't confuse it with the fence. So seals are different and you can get a picture based question for this. Now again the ending of the Harappan civilizations. So here you have two paragraph. So what is this? The first question you get with the paragraph like what symbolizes the end of the civilization? This first paragraph is the answer. What symbolizes the end of the civilization? And second is how did Harappan civilization came to an end? This paragraph is how did Harappan civilization came to an end? So the first paragraph is what symbolizes the ending of the civilization and second how did it end. These two paragraphs have two different questions. See here, next question is like that. Describe the about the king of Egypt around 5000 years ago. This paragraph, the king of Egypt, where it is? These they died, the body of the kings were preserved and buried in this pyramid, and these carefully preserved bodies are known as mummies. So here you can get another question. What are the mummies? And see, mummies, a large number of objects are also buried with them. And describe, write about the kings of Egypt around 5000 years ago. Read carefully, you can get your answer. What are the mummies, how mummies were made, mummies were made, and what are the king, write about the kings, all the answer you will get from here. Okay, so don't worry, this chapter contains lots of questions, and for your convenience I will share some questions with you. See, I hope you can see. I will share the questions with you. Okay, so you can practice with this. Along with that, you can practice the exercise questions. And again, I will tell you that we discuss lot of questions. Not all are written here. Again, I repeat, not all are written here. These are specially important questions for your entire chapter. I will give it for your help because this chapter contains lots of questions. So practice, learn, practice writing, study the picture carefully, and If you have any kind of doubt, any questions, write in the comment box. I will try to answer all your questions. And one thing I always tell you, read carefully, check all the spellings. Spellings are very important. So check all the spellings. And if you think these videos are helpful, then please like, share, and subscribe the channel Bookmark. I will upload more and more question answer session for your help as well as for your practice. I'm soon going to upload some questions. Okay. I hope you love the session and you read it very carefully. Thank you very much. Keep practice.